Yeah, we had all that. Just chill. Okay, we are live.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Kenyatta and I and the rest of the TGRI team really appreciate you taking time out of your busy days to come and learn with us. We've had a busy week at TGRI running around. Kenyatta made us safe travels up to California, so blessings there. Glad he's there with our other co-founder, Roberta. Looks like they're enjoying their time out there. San Jose, you said, Kenyatta?
I'm in Santa Cruz right now.
Oh, Santa Cruz. Okay, very nice. Well, tonight we got another really good filled night. As most of you saw with the post, we were going to have a special guest coming in, but we're going to have to reschedule that. But have no fear. We got something prepared for you. And this is a real topical item we're going to be touching tonight, is just how you adjust and how you serve your clients in a changing market, and really get into the so what of a situation, because we hear a lot of different terms being thrown out in the news and the market, but we want to start to kind of train ourselves and educate others around getting to the so what of things. When someone says, uh, interest rates are rising. Okay, well, so what? What does that really mean? Tonight, we're going to kind of talk about those different topics and how that translates to helping our clients. So I'll go ahead and just start with some of our general slides, give you a background on us, of course. So here at TGRI, it stands for Team Goins Realty Investments. And what we're really focused on is just helping people. We want to help 100 agents and 100 families this year. And that's our mission, is to really serve our clients and communities by providing honest and professional real estate services. And that's by the best way that we can do that is by educating ourselves. And that's really why we're all on the call today, is to kind of continue to learn and share each other's values and really learn the skills and the techniques to become a real expert in the field of real estate. And that's what we're always pursuing and what we're trying to do here. So here at TGRI, what are we focused on with our members? We really want everybody here to be empowered to make a change in their lives and to do whatever it is that they're trying to achieve within real estate, within their personal or professional lives. We're here to help empower you and give you a support system in a place where you have other trusted people that can help you find out what you want and help you achieve what you're looking for. That's really what we're all about here. And we're all about collaborating and driving results. We just really want to help everybody and make sure that we're getting what we're looking to get out of every situation that we're in. So Kenyatta knows this. We got a lot of new agents joining the team now, but really what we're all focused on is just a steady progression of getting you kind of into the real estate market and understanding what's happening. And it all really starts with just becoming understanding and getting educated on the whole EXP process and how to get compliant and how to understand where you are and where you want to be. So we're all about setting our goals and setting a plan to go and achieve those different things. So yeah, these are all just different ways that we go ahead and do that. But one thing that you want to know is, how do you get involved with us? Well, as of today, we have a new Slack channel. So if you haven't already received the message to join this, I'll go ahead and send it to you after this call. So put your email down in the chat. We'll get you added to this. This is where we're going to be updating everybody on all the latest things that we're involved in, listings, open houses. We got a couple different things coming. We got other types of events, not only here, but also in California. We're going to be continuing to put things on. So that's going to be the place to go and find everything else that we're doing. So before I get into this, Kenyatta, is there anything you want to talk about? Is there anything you'd like to say to the group before we get into this?
Well, I'm just excited to let them know that we are also starting our TGRI University.
Yes.
And mentoring and coaching. And that's going to be an exciting movement that we've been developing now for a year, but this is going to be an complete online course that's going to be evolving for the next few months to come. As Torre and I and Roberta, we film and add things to it. And I'm excited about that. And, looking forward to being able to help you grow and maximize your real estate career in what we're developing. I mean, it's fire. I'm excited. So go ahead, man.
All right, awesome. Yeah. I'm super excited. I should have made a slide for it, but next time we'll do a deep dive on the university and all the awesome stuff we got coming. But today, I really want to talk about the so what. Ooh, you got some root beer over there?
Yeah, I was making sure everybody knew I wasn't drinking beer on the Zoom call. This is root beer, a form thereof. But
Yeah. Yeah. So what do I mean when I say so what? It's really around kind of getting down to the root cause of any type of aspect or any type of concept or any large topic that somebody's talking about. So when someone says, the market is really hot right now, what does that really mean? How does that boil down to me on a daily level, or how does that boil down to my client who's trying to go and do a specific transaction or go and do something? So today I'm just going to kind of give you some overall statistics and different things that are happening in the Phoenix metro market. And then I'm going to ask you just basically, what do you guys think when you read these different types of things? Like what comes to your mind? So I'm just going to kind of go through this, and I used one of our tools, TGRI tools, in order to kind of come up with this. So it'll be interesting to see. So first, let's talk about the number of new listings. This is a really big topic right now in the Phoenix metro area, especially if you're a real estate agent right now. Most likely you're aware of this. And yep.
Can I say something? Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. But this is another one of the things that you designed here and created.
Yeah.
This is part of TGRI University as well, right? I mean, this
Yeah.
is another tool that they'll have. I'm just so excited. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're gonna get access to one of these market reports as part of it. Exactly. So you as an agent, you'll be able to come in here, and this is just showing the Phoenix metro. As you see up on the top left, this isn't a live one. Maybe we got time, I'll do a live demo of it. But up on the top left, there's a select. So you can go and select all of the different cities that are within the Phoenix metro area, and those specific stats are going to come up. But just for this conversation, we're just keeping it really high level here. And we're just talking about the Phoenix metro area. And this is the number of new listings. And when I say a new listing, that just means a new property that's come on the market. So this is all types of properties, condos, single family homes, and all those different things. So just keep that in consideration. But since May 2021, and I see I put a comma instead of a period, it's increased by 16.3%. So in May of last year, today's May 28th, I believe, or June 28th. So the new stats for June haven't come out yet. I'll have another report coming up in the next coming weeks to talk about June. But if we're looking at May, the number of new listings has drastically increased since this time last year. So what does that really tell us? What that means, there's a lot of different economic factors and different things that contribute to it, but the overall sentiment is that more people are putting their house on the market, and what else are we seeing here? If you see the bottom line here that's highlighted, pre-pandemic, so 2019, something that you'll see as we start to talk more and more about the market is when the market changes, we want to go and look back at when the market was most stable. So we don't want to use the numbers and the metrics of the things that were happening when the market was the most volatile or the most active, such as 2021 and 2022. We want to look at 2019 when the market was more stable and more predictable. And what we see here is that typically the number of listings decrease on the second half of the year. Okay, so less people start to put their homes on the market towards the end of the year. All right, so with that all being said, what does that tell us? Anybody here? What does that mean? What do you think when you see less houses being put on the market? Anybody? I already got a couple of ideas.
Less houses on the market, like people are not listing, then they're staying put. So
Okay.
there's a reason they don't want to move. Like maybe the rates are too high for them to buy another house. So they're like, they do the math and they're like, I'm fine where I'm at. We don't love our house, but we'll stay another year. Let's see what happens next year. And then I'm sure people don't put their houses on the market towards the end of the year because nobody wants to be moving during the holidays.
Exactly. Exactly.
And in Michigan, we don't want to move during the winter.
Yep, it's just way more of a hassle with all that snow and everything. That makes sense. So
Stuff in winter. What else? There's other items too. There's some other reasons.
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and flash up the 3 that I have prepared, but we can keep talking about it. What's this also mean? Just more tactically, more day to day as us agents right now in a changing market. There's just more competition right now. You know, if you look back in 2021 and 2020, you know, maybe you put your house up right away, you don't have to do much and it sells immediately. But as you see the increase in listings start to come, that means that there's more of a competition level as well. As people, as you see, more people are selling, there's also more opportunity for buyers because there are more listings being put up. So there's also other effects. Go ahead, Joyce. I think you were going to say something.
People don't like to change schools for their kids in the middle of the school year.
Oh, this is good. I'm taking some. People don't like to move.
Yeah, when you uproot your kids, they.
Yeah, that's a good one too, Joyce, right there.
So they'll buy at the beginning of the year and get ready and then move during the summer.
You know what's weird? I'm interested to see how this December works, is Justin, because last December it was one of my busiest months out of the entire year. So I know that market data says what it says, but December was actually one of the busiest months of the year for me last year. So
yeah, and I think that just proves more to like what the end conversation here is that it's all niches and certain types of properties and different ways that you approach the market. The idea, which we'll just fast forward to the end and we'll think about it as we look at some of these other stats, is that's the overarching thought, you know, is like this thought towards there's a scarcity or there's not opportunity there or something. There is deals happening. Some people like Justin last year was having the best December that he's ever had. You know, it has to do with something that he's working on, where he's focused, where he's putting his time and energy to. So the idea is just to start to think about other contributing factors to these things and how we might be able to better help our clients and our customers. But
you know, I used to work. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I apologize.
That's okay. I used to work for the government, and they would renew our contracts in the fall. So that's when we would get our bonuses and things like that. So that might contribute to having more sales in the winter.
Yeah,
that's a very good point too.
Different industries have different seasonalities. These are all things you want to consider when you're trying to generate more business throughout the different types of the year, or as the market starts to change and people's demands and their thoughts and their needs and their wants start to shift as well. So that's definitely something as well. But what I got flashed up on the screen is another quick stat that I pulled. And here I'm charting data all the way from 2019 all the way to 2022. And what we're seeing here is the number of pending listings is also decreasing. You know, it's decreased rapidly over the last several months, but it's still been charting lower than it was in 2020 or in 2019 in other areas. But this is a tricky one, because what it's just basically saying is less properties are being put under contract each year. So this is a metric that a lot of people track when they're looking at the change in the market and what's happening. But we got a bunch of heavy hitters on the call here tonight. So let's just kind of brainstorm. What what does this mean to us? Oh, and then I also ran another stat here too as well, which was the number of sold listings. So the number of sold listings is also slowly starting to decrease as well. And similar to all of these different factors that we've been talking about, you can see here, I only have the years 2018, 2019, and 2022 here. So I've eliminated 2020 and 2021 just because I'm making an assumption that those years were a little bit more irregular than similar years that happened before. So that's just
those were the booming era.
Those were the booming areas. We want to kind of look at 2018 and 2019, where the market was.
History.
Yeah, exactly. That's a little bit more historical. And what we see here is that generally, just like Joyce has said, just like Roberta has also said, the market the number of sold listings tend to decrease towards the end of the year. So let's just kind of.
I'm gonna put something out there that just popped in my head, and you guys tell me if you think I'm totally off base. But if the number of solds are decreasing and the number of pendings are decreasing, then that means that buyers are getting pickier about what they're going to purchase, because we've seen this a lot out here in California. I mean, the market out here is totally different. So over the last maybe 3-4 weeks, we've noticed a huge amount of price decreases, and not just 5 or 10K, we're talking 45,000, 100,000 decrease, right? So it's almost like the sellers are realizing like, oh, the boom is over. So they'll throw it out there, right? Their little shack that needs whatever amount of work, they'll just throw it out there, but it's not selling and it's not like pending, because buyers are like, listen, wasn't like it was at the beginning of the year. I'm not just going to jump at anything. I'm going to get a little pickier now, right? And so we've seen a lot of stuff actually go under contract and then come right back on the market. We've seen a lot of that out here. So I'm thinking that buyers are no longer going to be like, I'll take the as is. I'll take the house that needs a new roof. I don't care. I just want a house, because it's so competitive. Now they're like, no, I'm going to wait for something better. So I'm thinking that's maybe why the numbers of pendings and solds are decreasing.
Very good. I mean, and my thoughts behind this, Torre, and those on the call, is that the trend here in California market is slowly going to trickle down, and we're going to see the same results starting to happen within the Arizona market. Because typically this sets the precedent, or is the benchmark on what happens in our Arizona marketplace as well. So this is a good time for us to really keep our eyes open and our ears to the ground. And thank God we've got some heavy hitters, such as Justin on this call, and he's got his ear to the grind. He's out there doing it daily and able to give us feedback such as this. And I'm here doing that as well and watching everything. And Roberta's constantly watching. But this is going to really create a major shift in the Phoenix market, guys. This is just a heads up. So we're giving you a head start on everything. And I want to apologize again. I don't know what happened to our guest speaker today, that we were going to be talking about how the crypto currency is getting ready to take over and become the new dollar to buy and sell properties with. But we'll get them back. Excuse me. We'll get them back on at another time. I think they got their time zones mixed up. So we'll get them back on. But yeah, the shift is coming, and these market data that Torre compiles is really, really, really right on the mark. So use this data to help you achieve your goals. And Justin put a very good point in the comment section. This is a great time for new agents to learn and negotiate and learn the skills. But we're going to also go into that towards the end of this. And I have a good analogy, and I'm gonna have Roberta jump in as well. But we're going to talk to you about new agents versus uh, being a doctor, and this is going to be something good for you. But Torrey, continue. You got some great stuff to share, and I'm excited about what we're doing here on our calls.
Yeah, thank you. And the whole idea is to generate ideas and to talk through these things, because we're really trying to build a brain trust here. We're always constantly trying to learn, and we all come here with different perspectives. We're located all over the US as well, so different markets are happening differently. And basically, these were just some general thoughts I had as I was going through it, is that, in general, this just means less people are actually selling their homes, not necessarily putting them up on the market, but those things that are following all the way through to contract, to the end, the close of escrow, to deeds being transferred. It also indicates to me that certain areas of the market are more affected than others, depending on what target market you're trying to focus your services on. It could be more heavily affected than others. If you're focused on luxury homes, this data looks completely different than if you're focused on condos or something different. So these are all just different considerations that you need to take away and start to think on. But it's just something that I just enjoy talking about. So anytime that we can kind of spur these conversations. But I got a couple other things. Again, this is no news to anybody. Interest rates are rising. Interest rates since January of last year have increased over 90%. But if you look at that rate wise, that's only 3% up to 5.18%. So it looks very, very large, and it is in that short of amount of time. But again, as many of the pundits and experts online and in the media have said, historically speaking, it's still traditionally low. But if we're looking at how we react as human beings and as societies, we're very limited and short-sighted in that sense. So it's not easy enough just to say, well, historically it's like this, but the way that this affects down to the tactical, down to the personal person, the individual person that you and I know, there's different ways that someone might perceive this. So what do you think this means? What does this tell us? Interest rates are increasing. What does this mean?
Time to sharpen some skills, man. I think that's what it is. Like it's time to sharpen those skills, man. I think, you and Dr. Goins are always saying that, man, sharpen your skills. Like, you're going to be out selling or talking about the statistics. Well, people want to hear about your response to that and how to adjust as stuff changes. Like while I was on vacation in California, I don't know, like at least 100 emails from people doing price adjustments. But I even had a seller like text me and be like, hey, well, when would you adjust the price? And he wanted to give me less than 3 weeks to sell his house. There was a $650,000 house. I was scratching my head being like, man, this is not the right seller for me to work with, because if they're on a certain playing field and you've mapped it for them and they're not, on the same playing field as the research you just showed, which, by the way, you're spot on. A lot of times I hate the economists, man. I can't stand them. Like, I don't like the research and it drives me nuts, especially 2 years ago in Levine, but you're spot on. But the problem comes if you tell them how you're responding and what your plan of action is when you're selling a house for somebody, and they don't they're like, oh, I'm going to give you, I had a guy a couple months ago. He was like, I'm giving you, 20 days to sell. And I sold it for him. But right now, 21 days for a house is a $650,000 house. If someone's doing that, it's throwing a red flag that you'd be like, hey, is this really the right thing for me to spend my time on?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's telling us, man. Kudos to you for doing the research, man. I thought that was cool. I really did. I'm looking, I'm like, okay, he's kind of spot on with this stuff, like it's right.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly right, Justin. It is all relative, and it is the way that you translate that information. Your value as an agent, as a resource to somebody, is that you can translate this very abstract term, or these forces that don't seem very tangible in your own real life, but then how you can translate that down to how that'll affect somebody through a transaction, or how you can help them better position themselves to get whatever their outcome is, you know. And then the way that you're honest with yourself and you're honest with your client, you know, that's key to your success, is that you can identify those red flags ahead of time and you can see these things and adjust. So I think that's very important. And I've just thrown up 3 different things that I thought, just in the terms of me as a consumer. It cost me more money to borrow. It cost me more, you know, the same, if that jump in interest rate, the way that it affects the day-to-day person is it's increasing in your monthly payment. So you could have paid the house off, you know, way quicker, but now it's going to cost you, instead of $1,600 a month for that $350,000 house, now it's going to cost you, you know, it's going to cost you 22 or 2,300. So what's that mean? People need to adjust their finances. They need to adjust that debt to income ratio. There's a trickle down effect here. So more people qualify for less house, basically. And then on the lender side, and what we've been speaking with our partners, is that they're being more conservative. You know, they're not letting their bank dues go unserviced for longer. They're looking at your underwriting a little bit more. So us as agents, we need to prep our clients for that a little bit more soon. We need to connect them earlier in the process to our lender partners and facilitate that conversation.
You're caught in the matrix.
What was that?
Corey, you're being caught up in the matrix somehow. Just
Uh-oh.
robotic.
It was normal for me.
I'm sorry.
I think Ken's the one that froze.
Oh, he's the robotic one?
Roberta said that.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm sitting across the table
the
from him, like,
robotic.
my phone's fine.
Dude,
Okay.
Kenny just called you Neo from the Matrix. That's quite the compliment.
Hey, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll take it.
Yeah, Neil.
I'll take it. But I want to fast forward because I know that Kenyatta and Roberta got a quick story, but this kind of feeds into the days on market stats that Justin was talking about. And this is just a high level. Again, this is just the Phoenix metro area. We could dig down a lot deeper, but here's 2018 to 2022. And what you see is that, you know, days on market is still lower than it's ever been. You know, it's still very, very low. So some houses are selling very, very quickly. So if you've got that perfect house and you price it correctly and you're an awesome negotiator, there is plenty of backup saying that you can effectively sell that house. And I'm sure Justin could say the same thing. But you can see that it's slowly starting to increase. And as you can see, seasonality is playing a point here. When I say seasonality, it means different parts of the year, the market reacts differently depending on what part of the year we are. So when we're saying home sales are decreasing towards the second back end of the year, that's a seasonality. It's saying that towards the end of the year, the market's going to change differently. So as you can see, the days on market slowly start to increase. So we're seeing a lot of different factors coming in here. The number of sales are going down, the number of pendings is going down, the number of listings is going up, but the days on market could potentially increase as well. So there's a lot of different factors there. And I'll just finish up by saying, so what? What does that mean to you? You know, what does this days on market thing mean? You know, we've already thrown out a lot of different topics here. I'm just going to throw up a couple of these different ones. And I obviously didn't update the slide. Oops. But anyways, the so what, the end of this whole conversation, and Justin already stole my thunder because he said it earlier, was there's a higher demand than ever for real estate subject matter experts. You know, our job as a qualified, as a good agent, as somebody who's an expert in facilitating a transaction for a piece of property, whether it be a vacant piece of land, a condo, a luxury $2 million home, you know, anything. It's our skill and our knowledge that makes that thing happen. So regardless of all of these economic factors and all of these different things, it really boils down to you as an individual agent to go out there and pursue that education. You know, skills are diminishing. The same skill that you had when you first got your license is way different than the skill that you're going to have as an agent. And I'm just going to segue that into what Kenyatta and Roberta are going to be talking about to close us out tonight. So that's the end of what I got prepared.
May I ask a
Okay,
question?
Yes, Joyce, go ahead. Wait,
I would,
am I on mute?
You're on mute.
yeah, I can see you. I can hear you. I've watched on the stock market where a lot of real estate companies are no longer on the stock market, that they've taken themselves off. What is that an indication of? Did they overbuy? I know some of them were buying a lot of houses. If if we can't sell your house in so many days, we'll buy it. And are they the ones that are crashing and burning now, or?
Can I have this question?
Well,
Well, here's the deal. They weren't prepared for what's happened. And it's just like any business, there's a red zone and there's a black zone. Okay. And that's in the positive. Not all brokerages are created equally. And not all brokerages have what EXP has. That's the great thing about EXP is we are a multi-billion-dollar company offered on NASDAQ that is completely debt-free. We don't have brick and mortar, so we don't have those expenses that a lot of these other companies do have that ran out and bought all this other stuff, and they had capital investment in it. So they're capital heavy, but they don't have no way of liquidizing everything fast and rapidly to prepare for the recession that's on its way. So that's the thing that we were built for in EXP. We were built for all this stuff. We were built during the pandemic. When it hit, we never lost a beat. We were ready and able to go out there and still serve our customers and clients with 100% professionality and care. So that's what I'm seeing is that having a brick and mortar building, if we had to do that instead of virtual, I would be paying as a broker. I'd be paying out $30,000 to $60,000 a month for my building, plus salary, plus electricity, plus insurance, plus, right? That's before I've even made a penny. Now, if houses are sitting on the market longer and a broker gets paid by what his real estate agents do, that means that I'm solely dependent on or codependent, right, upon my agents making an income and those houses selling faster because I've got to turn that within 30 days in order for my capital investment to equal out and level out the way it's supposed to. That's a slippery slope, isn't it? And we have to be very cautious of how we're doing things. So that's why Glenn Sanford was such a brilliant inventor of this world that we have. And everybody used to make fun of us being virtual and having avatars and all this. Well, guess what? We're the fastest growing company in the world. We're over 82,000 agents now. And by the end of the year, we're going to have over 100,000 agents, making us, we're already number two in the world in size. We were number 4 just several months ago. So just take a look at what's going on in the world and how we're doing it. And you're seeing these other companies drop off of the NASDAQ and off of the S&P and the multi 500. You've got CEOs that just came in other brokerages. I won't say their names, but they have left, just resigned from these other brokerages because they see the writing on the wall. They can't keep up with what we got. And I'm happy that we're where we're at, because if you're with EXP, the sky's the limit and it's going to get better. If you're not, give me a call so I can tell you how to do this thing the right way, and you will be happy with it. But let's get into what Roberta and I need to share with you, because we got some new agents on here. We got some people that are pretty much looking to get into real estate. And I want to set some better expectations of things, because a lot of people just get in it because they see the glamour and the shine and the cars and the houses and all this stuff, right? And you forget about what goes into creating a great agent, or a heavy hitter, as Torre calls it, or a boss. That takes a lot of hard work and dedication. You have to eat, sleep, and drink this stuff. And I sipped the Kool-Aid a long time ago, but my wife is my boss. She brought me into EXP. And I was sitting back and I'm like, oh, I'll help you out. I'll recruit for you. I'll build you a team. She has her own team now. And I have my own. But together we as a husband and wife, we've combined and made that team going, right? But the thing is I started seeing her getting residual checks on the 22nd of every month from what her agents were doing. And then I saw her receiving stock. And I'm like, oh, how is that happening? I didn't get this at Coldwell Banker or Century 21 when I was with them. I didn't see any of that. I had all these payments I had to pay to these brokers. That was years ago, back in the 80s, right? But I was like, maybe I better get my license now. And I got into it. Well, I got into it, but I had somebody coaching me all along. Plus, I had a history before. I knew real estate. But for a new agent, and Justin talked about these new agents learning the skill of negotiation, well, there's a lot to learn. Now, and you get paid as a top-notch realtor, and Justin can attest to this because he's a top-notch realtor. He's on his way to becoming an icon. And we love this guy. That's why he's on our call. That's why he's partnered with us, is because he has the character and the personality and the qualities that are a part of what our mission is and who we really are. So, but that all takes time, right, to do everything. But a doctor, you're making money like a doctor.
I'm gonna have to slip you a $50 later or something, Kenny. That was quite a nice speech, though.
Hey man, you can take me out for dinner and pay for it. I'll take that.
Dude, I'm craving a steak. Roberta,
I might even put some butter and jelly on this one for you. Watch, just watch. Wait, I'm not done. But real estate, you're going to earn just as much as a top paid attorney or a top paid surgeon. But many of us want to get in this thing and make that money right away without having the background and the knowledge and the skill set to really become that heavy hitter. So are our expectations too high? Are we thinking too much? I'm reading stuff every day. I am on my phone reading stuff. I have books I'm reading. I'm constantly meeting people, talking to people, and I'm constantly trying to evolve and make Kenyatta better so I can make you guys better. And my skills of negotiation can become better. But the thing is that, and the analogy I want to put in front of you now that I've said all that stuff, right, is a doctor goes to school, and I went to school for 8 years. And then just because you have a degree doesn't give you a license to go out and perform surgery. Now, my wife's in the medical field, and she can take this to a different level than me because she sees this on a daily. However, what I'm trying to teach you guys is that if you want the big dollars, it takes a coach. Even a coach needs a coach, okay? It takes constant learning and evolving. But a doctor has to do an internship, am I right? And an internship can last, I don't know how many years, but I'm gonna let her tell you. But I'm gonna let her expand on what I'm saying, because I want people out there listening to us live on YouTube or wherever we're at to understand that, yes, you can make it. Yes, you can make the big dollars. You can be successful in real estate beyond your wildest dreams. But there's going to be ebbs and flows. It ebbs and flows. highs and lows everywhere you go. But you get out what you put in. So if you put in the effort and the time to become the best you can be, you're gonna reap those rewards. And so, Roberta, go ahead and tell them about the medical field and how this really relates to real estate.
Okay, well, we're running out of time, so I'm gonna try not to talk too long. But I don't know why everybody thinks real estate is like different than any other field for some reason. Like even before you get in it, Ken's right. You see these flashy cars and all this money, and you're thinking, "Oh my God, it's so easy. I'm just gonna go to school for 3 weeks or 3 months or whatever," and then suddenly it's a license to print money. All of a sudden, I'm gonna be this amazing millionaire overnight. I don't know why people think real estate is like that, because it's like any other field. You need training. You don't know what you're doing when you first get in there, right? And our motto for our team is integrity matters. And so the whole thing is with integrity is, if I'm not the best person for a deal or to help somebody, if I need more training on something, or there's an agent that knows more than me about, let's say, flips or foreclosures or something, then I'm going to ask this person to assist me and help me, right? Because integrity matters. You want to give your client the best possible care. And a lot of times as a newbie in real estate, you need that extra training and coaching and teaching. You don't know what you're doing. And even if you can, like, you're a good actor and you can put on the face and be like, yeah, I totally know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Well, then there's going to be something messed up in the contract, or you're going to forget to get that mold inspection on that 1960 house. Come on, like, happens to everybody when they jump in thinking, this is so easy. This is so easy. Well, it's just like any other profession. It's not easy. It requires work and effort and training and constantly staying up on the market, right? I love what Justin said about like the economists and thinking about all this stuff. I often think about real estate like I do about the stock market. Like, people, they see what's happening and then they want to jump in just a little too late. You'll get a client that calls and, oh, it's a hot market. I see that all these houses are selling. I want to sell my house for like $1 million right now. And you're like, well, that was last month. Or you get the buyer that's like, we have X amount of money and we want a 6-bedroom with 7 baths and blah, 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 blah. This is what we have to spend. Okay, well, that's when the prices for loans were 2%. Now they're 6%. Now they're 8%. It's totally different, right? So people always, they want what they want because they see it on TV. They want what they want because they see other people doing it. But it's our job to coach and train people that, like, that is the reality, kind of, but this is the real reality, right? You can't promise somebody everything in the world just because you think it's going to get the sell or going to get the client or whatever, because that's not acting with integrity. And a lot of these new agents, or just agents that are in it strictly for the money and not really to help people, that's what they do, right? I mean, we see it all the time in this profession, unfortunately. So the whole point is, like, when you're walking into any profession and you kind of know what you're doing, or maybe you did it a long time ago and now you're just jumping in again, or you're totally brand new, you're going to need knowledge and you're going to need training, and you're going to need to be under the wing of somebody that is patient and can show you the ropes and the way to do it. And eventually you'll be able to, like, fly on your own. But until that time, you can't just jump in. A surgeon doesn't just graduate from medical school, call himself a surgeon, and like start. I mean, it takes years and years and years of practicing under somebody for a lot less pay. Sometimes no pay.
Sometimes no pay.
Sometimes working 100-hour weeks, right? Just to get the knowledge, because the value is in the training and the knowledge you're getting, knowing that someday you're going to be able to do it on your own, and then you can teach and train others. But the whole point is, you can't just jump in thinking you know what you're doing right away, because you're going to get burned, or you're going to burn somebody else. And that's totally not acting with integrity. So when we were talking about, like, gosh, these professions that people just think, I'm going to do it right away and it's going to be amazing. It's not like that. Like, you need teaching and training and going to conferences and talking to other agents, and talk to some old agent that's been through a recession, that's been through a buyer's market and then a seller's market, that's been through a crash, like all this crazy stuff, right? I mean, get the knowledge, ask for the training, and don't just pretend you're like some top-notch surgeon right away just because you, I don't know, saw surgery on YouTube and you're like, I can do that. No problem. Yeah. Oh, Ken died. Oh, Ken got frozen. But anyways, so yeah, that's just what I wanted to say is it's real estate is like any other profession. You have to get knowledge. You have to get training. You have to become the best that you can be at it. And the first step to that is humbling yourself and admitting like, I don't know everything. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. And that's okay. Teach me, train me, coach me. I'm ready. Like, bring it on, you know? So we love working with new agents that have that mindset. I don't care if they have 0% experience in real estate. If they come in with that open mindset of like, I really want to do this. I love homes. I love helping people. I love the joy that I had when I bought my house. I want to share that with others. Great. Bring them on the team because that's a teachable and trainable and coachable person.
Absolutely.
Like, don't bring me the guy that's like, I can do the surgery right away. No. Bring me the one that wants to learn something to be the best they can be at it.
I had one of those. Wanted to do surgery right away. I was like, okay. Like, good luck.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, and that's our job, Justin, is to slow them and make them pump their brake and ask them, you know, hey, would you want a heart surgeon performing surgery on you doing a triple bypass and he's never done it before?
Okay, or here's another analogy going back to the stock market with these new agents. If they're like, I'm gonna do this right away, blah, blah, blah. Be like, okay, are you comfortable handing over $300,000 of your own money to a brand new stockbroker that just got out of school yesterday? Do you think they're gonna double your money, triple your money right away? Do you feel comfortable just being like, there you go? They'll be like, no way, no, I'm gonna go with a more experienced guy, or I'm gonna do research myself, or blah, blah, blah. Well, then why would you expect that a client is going to do the same with you? I mean, they're literally handing over to you for your care, like the biggest investment most people will ever have is in their homes. So what makes you think somebody's just going to hand you the keys to that right away with no experience and no knowledge?
And she said I was long-winded. But I hope people see that, because what we always hear is we hear that I learned by doing, and they just don't get in there and get their feet wet and do everything. But there's a process with everything, and you need to learn the process before you get out there and do the surgery. And that's what we want to teach you, and that's what we've developed. That's why we kind of shut down for a whole year. Mute yours. We're gonna get echo. We shut down for a full year so we could write up all these SOPs, all these different plans. Look, there's over 270 some odd processes just in a buying process. You're supposed to just get out there and know all that? That doesn't have anything to do whatsoever if there's a hiccup along the way, if you got to renegotiate something, if they find the spuds to be incorrect, or air conditioning goes out in the middle of the cell. All these different people don't know what to do. But our job as a team with a mission, is to fully educate and prevent you from being out there performing surgery and not knowing what the heck you're doing. But we're out of time now, but I hope this has helped somebody. Angel just came in.
Well, she can watch the recording. We got live. We're going to be posting this recording on our YouTube as well as our social media. So don't even worry about that. We could definitely rewatch this one. There was a lot of knowledge packed in this. I really appreciate everyone contributing and providing your thoughts. And wow, I already got notes here. So thank you.
You're very welcome. This is hey, good night, Justin. He's got to go. I
Thank you,
appreciate you.
everyone. Good night.
Appreciate you being here and being part of our team. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week and being a part of what we're doing. And as always, we love you and may God's best be yours. We'll see you next week.